Hello and welcome to The Hero's Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward-moving spouse with a bomb drop of 5/12, May 12th, 2022, and a date of marriage of 2007. She says he's a boomerang, I'm thinking possibly clinging, and a low-energy wallower. She says, I kicked my husband out in May of 2023. So that's 1 to 2 months ago. That was a year after bomb drop. She says she did that after she discovered his affair with his colleague. He then moved in with her. Since then, he comes over to our house every day to see our kids and stays for several hours, sometimes until bedtime. He's still very involved in their activities, sports, school, and he wants to go to birthday parties. Okay, that's good. He's staying a parent. Now, this is also why I said clinging more. Typical boomerangs don't do this. I've said that the difference is an emotional connection. He's showing that emotional connection through this. Typical boomerangs that aren't clinging don't spend hours at the house, even if he's not using words to say, think of me, don't lose hope in us, I might come back someday. You might not hear some of the phrases, but the actions are, he's not just coming over and then leaving. He's staying for several hours. He is using the house as home and the alienators as the bedroom. Okay, so I will go on. He has continued to give us his entire paycheck and still maintains the house, lawn, and pool, etc. However, there seems to be no guilt, remorse, or any sense of accountability regarding the alienator, who he still works with. They're violating the HR policy. As far as I know, the secret hasn't gotten out of his job. It's a white-collar job. As much as I want to leak it to cause them both humiliation, sorry, leak it because you want the company to come in and interfere. But that won't stop the affair, but I don't think it's a bad idea. I am taking the high road and focusing on myself and my kids. He doesn't monster often, but I'd imagine that when he doesn't, it's because the girl is pressuring him. Could be. Very likely. My goal is for my marriage to eventually be restored. Am I handling this right? Much of it you are. I am not a fan of kicking people out until or when. So it was a whole year. You discovered the affair. Had you been suspecting it up till then for a while? I don't know. But you said you kicked him out when you discovered the affair. Good. If you discovered the affair 1 week after bomb drop, I wouldn't say kick him out. I like for you to get used to the situation a little bit more, get a feel for it, and I like for them to leave. It's okay to say, you know what, if you're going to be that way and you don't want to be here, you just dropped a bomb about how our marriage sucks and you don't want to be in it anymore, and now you say you're having an affair, or I found you're having an affair. I think you need to leave. That's not really kicking him out. That's okay. Not always the greatest. But this, you set a boundary. Hey, you're having an affair. You're not allowed to live here. I like it. It's okay. It is okay. So you did the right thing in that. Don't hide the affair, though. Don't allow him to have a secret affair. And yes, weigh all of your consequences. Is he going to lose his job, and is that bad or good? And understand that you might not know, because maybe he'd lose his job and it'd be really terrible and you'd have financial struggles, but that might put a cascade of events that got it back to a reconciliation someday, maybe not for years, and so you might not know that except that you did Groundhog's Day with several different events, which we can't redo our lives. So you might not know that was one of the events that put you on this path. But he shouldn't be having an affair. It is against the rules. So if it gets revealed and it's you doing it, it's not your fault. He will monster at you. He will come back and blame you. And he will tell you, I'm never coming home now because you ruined it for me. You ruined my career. You ruined my job. And what you do in that is, let's say you kicked him out. He found out, he knows it was you that spilled the beans on the job. It's like, you stand firm. You can have that soft voice, but this is one of where I want a little bit more assertion in your voice. No. You chose to have an affair. You chose to violate, I like violate like you said instead of break, the policy at your work. You have had an inappropriate relationship. It is adultery, it is infidelity, and it is a betrayal of me and a betrayal of the rules of your employment. That's your choice, your fault, and you can try and twist it all onto me as much as you like, but you damn well, notice how I'm not saying you know, but I'm saying you damn well know that it's your fault, that it's your actions that put you in this place. And if you've seen my videos, I often do this that I'm trying now, this softer voice. I try and stay firm. But in this, I'm not doing that. He monsters at you and tries to tell you how it's your fault that he lost his job. Hey, buddy, you lost your job because you broke the rules. So, and you need some boundaries at home. It's like, if you want to be out of the house, yes, I want you to have a relationship with the children. But I kicked you out of that house. That means you're not welcome here unless I invite you in. And I'm not going to invite you in for the entire day. You want back in? You want to come over and stay for several hours? Then you have to get rid of her, get therapy, and choose to be an appropriate spouse so you can have a plan of action for moving back in to be together. Because this is not your crash pad. This is not your hangout. You want to spend time with the children. You can spend time when I have invited you, or you could take them somewhere else. And it's okay for you to invite him in occasionally. I want you to nurture the relationship. And hey, Sunday dinner, but make it not everyday dinner. He's doing what Chuck did in the beginning. And he didn't do it that for a lot longer. We didn't have kids. But he left and then moved in to an apartment. Then, as soon as the relationship went physical with the alienator, he moved in with her and kept the apartment because he promised our friend 3 months until the 3 months was up. Then he told me he wanted to come home. I said, no, you can't come directly home. That would be bed hopping, blah, blah, blah. So our neighbor, who used to live next door, but had bought a little creepy place. It was this stucco triplex, 3-apartment place as his, and so he had, I don't know if he had one of the apartments free or if he let Chuck stay in the second room in his own apartment. But he said Chuck could stay there. And so Chuck moved into there. That was around the corner, about a block and a half or so. And Chuck did what I described here. He used that house or place as his bedroom. He came to our house. He stayed there all day. He kissed me goodbye at night. And then he got out, walked down the street. I don't even know if he drove. It was summertime. And slept there. No, that's not how it works. It's not a bedroom that's a little bit more distant. If you're going to live somewhere else, you have to actually do your living at the somewhere else. So right now, this is cake eating. And if you keep allowing him to come in, you're allowing the cake eating. You say he has no guilt or remorse. That's going to come later. So I want you to set that aside. And maybe he does, but he's very good at hiding it. Or maybe he has it, but he's not feeling it because he's buried it. He's not going to have sense of accountability. You're not giving it to him. Because he's allowed to come in. He's allowed to have all of the time he wants with the kids, the house, take care of the house. He can still feel like a hero. He can still feel like I'm doing all my duties. Except for, the emotional husband duty, yeah. I'm a good husband. I didn't stop paying for everything. So-and-so down the street, when he left his wife, he left her and she's in poverty now. I'm good. And as long as you allow some of this, you're enabling him to believe that. It's like, no. You're stringing me along. He didn't string her along. Maybe. You're sending mixed messages. He didn't send her mixed messages. He ripped the Band-Aid off quickly. And yeah, he didn't do it right either. So you're doing some of the stuff right. Kicking him out, that was the right thing. Find a way to out them at their job. Whether you do it secretly, so that you are not known as the source, or whether you are known as the source, or whether the company knows you're the source but keeps it secret. I don't know how that will work. But yeah, it needs to come out. You do not need to keep these secrets. Do not protect it. The more you enable, the more you just help continue the bad behavior and continue the crisis of escaping and avoiding. Okay? Figure out, I don't know what he's going to do with the kids, how he's going to hang out with them, where he's going to take them. But you know what? He has to figure that out. And you could say, I kicked you out because you chose. You chose to walk out the door. You chose for your consequence to be leaving this house because you were having an affair. So don't go complaining to me. Yes, I kicked you out. You don't get to live under our roof while committing adultery. I want you to use the big words. The labeling words. Okay, label that behavior. And yeah, you're going to get monster. And yeah, he's going to try and press back. Yeah, I'm going to file now. He's going to make you threats. And they're all a big puffer fish trying to get, if I can make myself look bigger, look more threatening, or be more threatening, I'll get her to stop. She'll back down. And your job is to not back down. Your job is to be soft and firm without too firm. That's too firm. Firm, soft. Too firm. Okay. Look, see those differences. He might not know those differences or recognize or acknowledge them. But you practice this in the mirror if you need to. If you want your marriage to be restored, enabling isn't going to get it. Enabling cake eating, allowing cake eating isn't going to how it's going to happen. Okay? There's a point where you give tidbits of cake. But right now, it's at a level where he needs to know this is a boundary. I kicked you out. And then what you're not doing is you're not enforcing the kicked out part. Okay? I hope this is helpful. And I will see everybody in the next question.